I used to be a very quiet mouse that didn't speak or didn't ask questions in any meeting.
Expanded my definition of collaboration and networking.
Loved it. Was just thrilled to death to meet teachers from the Pribilof Islands and Chivak and Bethel and places I'd never even heard of yet.
This network allows people to really explore, what do I know about language? What do I believe about language? How do I think about language? And most importantly then, how do all those things impact what I do in the classroom?
Sometimes when you get teachers together face-to-face or educators, maybe there'll be 2 or 3 that dominate. But what we've noticed with the online format is that we have a richer conversation because everyone has their space that's uninterrupted time to talk. And it really creates this space for teachers to share what they're doing in their classroom, develop this sense of trust, and it gives the teachers equal time.
Everybody has an opportunity to share. Everybody is giving an opportunity to tell their story.
It's a voice. It's a voice to be heard.
It's like they've given us a platform where we can stand and work together.
One of the interesting things about training to be a university professor is that you're really not taught how to teach. You're taught very deeply in your subject matter. And most of the people who I've been interacting with as part of the network are teachers in the K through 12 system. And these are people who have actually been taught how to teach. And so it's given me an opportunity to learn things that are useful, but that I've never received any formal training in.
Whether we're principals or teacher leaders or kindergarten teacher to a professor, we all speak in the same level, and I really like that because it makes me more comfortable, having to talk about what I do and also listen to people that what they do in their classrooms or things that really matter, the language.
When somebody had the mic, everybody else had to listen. And we actually found a quote where they talked about the difference between Western ways of conversing, where I'm listening to you and framing my response while I'm listening to you, as opposed to other cultures where I listen to you fully, wait till you're done, then think about a response. And the point was made that by one person controlling the mic, everybody had to assume that position of, I'll just listen, I'll listen to the whole thing, and then I'll talk.
Whether you're Aleut or Chupik or Yuchtun or English even a person from Anchorage that teaches Spanish or Japanese, it's, to us, we're just total equal people.
Having been a classroom teacher, it can be very isolated in your classroom. And I know that I've heard from a lot of our network members, I really feel part of a community. So for me, it's been incredible to see these relationships, professional relationships, form online. And as a facilitator of this group, to step back and watch these professional relationships and how they really do. We say this as our mission, we're coming together to learn on behalf of each other. But teachers and university faculty and around the state are really doing this.
When I joined the Mini-Network, I was a brand new teacher in Alaska. I had some teaching experience down in Texas, in fact, quite a bit of experience. But I had just recently arrived in Alaska and knew nothing about how to be a teacher here. The network has taught me the value of place-based education. That was one of the early dialogues I was involved in. It's helped me to realize that by making my education more place-based, more specific to Alaska, more specific to the world that my students live in, that I'd be a better teacher and they'd be better students.
The teachers feel confident enough about themselves to be able to share what they know and to share the indigenous language teaching that will help their students achieve in the classroom.
Akçak doktorika yıhtın liçiğine güt. Tamakayı mitaput yıhtın kan kaput.
Yukamak liçiğine gütçali yuyakamak. Onun akçak doktorika elaytana tkanakput lingan yıhtın kalaktstud. Ataput amanar kutlu kasatun biqata. Lichungauten yutsten kanakayakaput. Kasat lichungat yutsten achtla. Yutsten kanan konta yutsten kansput ayakjekok.
If you have students who come from very different cultural backgrounds, and this could be anything from students from other countries as well as students from rural Alaska, what's the best way to actually work with that and help those students succeed?
The research that I conducted during the school year was on introducing riding with yuhak. And the way I did that was to, have the students dance the yuhak that they know, that they learned with a yuhak teacher. The way they learn how to yuhak is just by following the dance instructor, and they're not instructed on how or the story behind the dances. And so I wanted to introduce the stories behind those dances using writing. And we just went over the dance. I introduced the vocabulary words that went with the dance, and we talk about those vocabulary words. I would tell them the story behind the dances. So every day we would dance and then talk about the stories behind those dances. After we talk about the story behind that dance, I would have them tell their story orally. And then from there, I would have them draw in their journals what their story is about. So we kind of went through a sequence from dancing the story to telling the story to telling our own story, and then going into writing or drawing our story. And then from there, they were able to write their own story.
Jawa. Dundua magpisok. To prospect.
And I think we've started a good thing. We've got something rolling, something very important.
It makes my heart grow to actually become that person, from a very quiet person that was a nobody to a person that's up here and they're listening. That's a thing that really makes me happy about becoming a leader.